Welcome back to Books with Duddy. Today we are reviewing a little bit of a different type of book than we've done so far, a sci-fi book called Project Hail Mary. This will be a spoiler-free review, so no worries there. If you are looking for more of a spoiler-filled discussion on this book, I will have a video out, if it's not already, on Thursday after this video releases, so keep an eye out for that video. Otherwise, stick around and kind of hear my spoiler-free thoughts. This book is by Andy, I believe it's Weir is how you say his last name, and before reading this book, I did not know he was the person who wrote The Martian. Now, I've never read The Martian, and I've only seen bits and pieces of the movie, but just from the small amounts I've seen of the movie, I could definitely see how these books came from the same person, even though one was a movie and one I read. But anyways, so the premise of this book is we have our protagonist, Ryland Grace. He wakes up on a spaceship and basically doesn't remember his name, doesn't remember why he's there, or anything. Basically just has amnesia. He sees he has two other crew members with him, but they're both deceased. And so we start from there. And so as far as like the writing style and the tone, I kind of mentioned I could see how they were, from the same person, The Martian and Project Hail Mary, because there's definitely like a humor to the story. I wouldn't call it a comedy by any means, but there's always just like a humorous subtext almost, or the way that Ryland thinks and talks. There's just something funny about it, and maybe jovial is the right word. Even though, he's in a situation where, he doesn't really know what's going on. So it's like a really serious situation, but there's still humor in it, which I really enjoyed. And kind of how the book goes is that he slowly starts to piece together his memory, like he has flashbacks. So you kind of figure out why he's there and all that throughout the book. And that was something I really liked, jumping from present day to the flashbacks and kind of piecing things together was a lot of fun. Now, in this book, there is a lot of like scientific jargon, which if you've read The Martian or seen The Martian, you probably would have assumed that. I didn't know really anything about the book going in. Like I said, I didn't know who it was by or anything. So that was a little bit of a surprise for me, and I don't understand any of that stuff anymore. I probably did a little bit in college and all of that, but most of that stuff was over my head. But it didn't really take away from the book for me. But I also think that if you do understand some of that stuff, the book would probably be even more enjoyable for you. And, the one thing, I love this book. I really love this book. I love the writing style. I love where the story went. I loved the protagonist. The one thing I will say is that I felt like it started to drag just a little bit towards the end. I think the book probably could have been, 50 or so pages shorter, and it would have still had the same effect. But that said, that's a pretty small price to pay, I guess, for how great I thought the rest of the book was. Like I said, the protagonist, Ryland, super easy to root for, very likable, and the whole thing just is very interesting. And I think it goes places that I didn't expect from this type of book, for sure. So, like I said, overall, I loved this book. I'm going to give it an 8.6 out of 10. Fantastic book. I'm not sure if I'm going to read The Martian or not, just because I've seen bits and pieces of the movie, and I think I had the end spoiled. Honestly, I can't really remember. So I might just try to watch the movie again and see if he has any other books. And I think this is actually coming out as a movie next year, which again, I didn't know. I just saw this book on a Goodreads list of like, I don't know, something like best sci-fi books or something like that. And I'm certainly glad I did. Okay, so that is going to wrap up my review of Project Hail Mary. Again, I absolutely love this book. I could not put it down, and it's just one of those books that made me feel so many different emotions. So, highly recommend you give it a try. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and if you want to hear my thoughts on spoilers or share your thoughts on spoilers, look for my video either out now or coming out shortly where I discuss those. Otherwise, I very much appreciate you being here. Every Tuesday will be a new review, and then every Thursday will be my reaction to the book as far as spoilers and all of that go. So if you enjoy books, don't hate me. I would really like it if you could like and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon.